Hello folks, Scott Abernathy here with Reliant Property Management, servicing the greater Middle Tennessee area including Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, Antioch, and areas around. I believe that every landlord needs a professional CEO to run their landlording business, and I am that CEO. You know, I was driving down one of my neighborhoods the other day and I saw a duplex that belonged to a friend of mine. And in the front yard of this duplex, there was just stuff everywhere. There was a sofa here, bedding there, dishes here, and my friend was meandering through it all in the front yard. It was just scattered everywhere, obviously picked through. So I pulled over feeling sorry for him, and I looked up and said, "Hey, Mark, what's going on?" He says, "Scott, I've just been through my first eviction." Said, "This real estate stuff is for the birds. There's just no money in it." I said, hold on just a second there, Mark. Granted, these things happen, and yes, we have to deal with them. But there are ways to mitigate this risk. He says, "Really? You're going to mitigate this risk? I mean, look what I've got to do now." I said, "Allow me to explain how we do it. First things first, the biggest mistake that I see landlords making is improper screening. Yes, that's right. You can avoid a lot of problems in this business before you even let somebody move in. Trust me, there are plenty of good people out there to live in your property. Probably 85% of my tenants or more I would qualify as either good or great tenants. But that's because we screen them properly in the first place. We're looking at things like the credit report, the legal search, their criminal background history, and above all, the drive-by survey. I'll explain that in just a minute. Now, credit history, don't get me wrong, there's a good chance they're going to have poor credit. That's one of the reasons they may be renting. Don't look at the score in and of itself. It can play a part in your decision, but not a big one. Look to make sure that they have paid like things, their utility bills, their house payments, things like that, housing-related issues. You know, if they had an appendectomy 4 years ago and $40,000 later they couldn't pay the bill, that does not make them a bad tenant. But if they're not paying their landlord, it very much could. And get landlord references. Landlord references are vitally important also. Look for especially past landlord references. Do a legal search to see if they have evictions on their record and a criminal history, looking for felonies, particularly consistent or drug offenses. You want to try to stay away from that kind of stuff. And I mentioned to you the drive-by survey. This doesn't cost hardly anything. You take their application, you go where they live right now. You knock on the door. You say, "Mr. and Mrs. Applicant, I'm here to do your processing your application. May I come in?" Usually they're going to let you come in. Now, they're not expecting you, so overlook boxes they may be living in or something like that. But if you see damage to the property, holes in the walls, Kool-Aid stains on the carpet, let me tell you, there's a hint that's going to happen in your house also. So proper screening is the first thing that you want to do, especially to avoid this mess. But to make more money out of your rental properties are other techniques also, like testing the market. You test the market whenever you're trying to rent it by advertising it for more than you think it's actually going to bring and analyze the data that you get back. If you're not getting any clicks on your website, if you're not getting any showings, no applications, you have not hit the market yet. Make weekly adjustments until you do get to that market point. And another way to make more money and prevent this right here that you're going through is make sure that you have a good tenant retention program. Yes, that's right, tenant retention. You want to hold on to good tenants. The most expensive thing in landlording is turnover. Doing what you're doing right now, moving somebody else out, moving somebody else in, that is the most expensive thing in landlording. So this is what you want to try to prevent as much as you can. You do this by taking good care of them. After all, they're the customers for your business. Treat them like the customers they are. If their water heater goes out, have them hot water before they take a shower that night. Make them think to themselves, "My landlord is awesome. Where do I sign when lease time comes?" So there's your 3 tips. 3 tips to make you more money in your real estate business. Starters, make sure you do proper screening to mitigate a lot of risk right off the bat. Second, tenant retention. Take care of your customers so they'll take care of you. And finally, test the market to get the most rent possible for your rental price. If I can help you in any way, please reach out to me. You can find us right here on our website or call us on our phone number. I look forward to serving you.